start off with Vinny. Cheers.
Sean, what are your thoughts on the performance today?
Defensively, very pleasing for a large part of the game. I think they only had 3 shots on target from that point of view. It's unusual when you come here. So that side of the game I thought was very pleasing for the tactical understanding, the energy and the work ethic of the players. The frustrating part, which don't get me wrong, it's hard to do it. They react very quickly and they're good on transit. And I've said it for years, it's not just the way they play, their defensive side, the way they see the picture and how quickly they turn their mental transition into defending when attacking, how quickly they react to that and shut it down. So that is a challenge. But when we had them moments, we didn't keep the ball, we didn't find the passes necessary to bring you into the game offensively as many times as we needed to. And equally, when they come up, play the high line to try and press you, we didn't find the passing behind. It's a big frustration of mine. We can't, it's something we need to challenge the players with constantly here, is to find that passing behind, because we've seen it in recent weeks. A lot of teams now trying to do that idea of pressing, which we do as well at times, but pressing a higher line. So, seeing the picture is difficult. Easy for me sitting in the stand, quite obviously. Not so easy when you're at pitch level, but that's part of the challenge, turning into good displays defensively and challenge yourself to turn them into offensive displays as well.
In those moments, is it belief as much as anything?
No, I think it's moments of quality. I think it's moments of, finding... I mean, it can be a big ask, or a big task rather for players, because when you're in defence mode, to break from that, and go into attack mode and break your shape and use the players to break that up, that can be a big challenge, and here you do have to defend right. Everyone knows that. And I think, as I said, that's one of the main things, and one of the best things Pep Guardiola's done for me is he gets a team of really high technical players, but they work very quickly in transition. And I think that's what makes them so good. And I think, and the other thing is the belief in finding a moment. I mean, I think it was 71 minutes, first shot on target, they score a goal, and that's the thing, they are capable of doing that. And if the 11 out there ain't doing it, they've got a bench that ain't bad as well, but if you noticed.
You've seen the first goal back as well, was it a corner?
I'm not going to start with all that. It's the same old adage. Everyone managers have been saying it for years. You come to these grounds, you don't often get the decisions, so it's not a major surprise it doesn't go for us. But I'm not going to start debating, an inch here and there, although it costs us, of course. Could have. I think one of them, yourselves, referees at the time, they just, shout whichever way they think. I don't think there's that much thought into it. Could it go for your way, etc., etc. Hopefully it does, but very rarely at these places.
Ultimately, though, today isn't going to determine your fate in the season. So what's your message to the players?
Well, I think we certainly remind them of the positives from it, because I think our defensive framework's been strong. And I think there's always something to build on. But I think we're asking the side of more quality moments. I think we've got some very good technicians and good technical players. But the final pass, the final moment of truth, they're the things that the highest demand of the game is on. The structure and organisation are often the things you can affect, and I think the players are taking that on board and delivering it. The moments of truth are the hardest thing to coach and manage. You get them chances, you get the moment to slide the pass, you get the moment to finish. They're the moments that we've got to continually look to find and continue to look to build on.
Finally, for me, the other positive, I suppose, minutes for Onana after a couple of weeks out.
Yeah, I thought he did well when he came on. He looked bright, and he's looked bright around the place, coming back from injury. Ganna's worked ever so hard again. Jimmy as well, I think 2 good performers in there. Seamus gets a few more minutes. We're beginning to get full fitness back. It's going to be important over the remaining games of the season, and we'll hopefully have better news during this week on Duke as well, being out on the grass.
I'm sure Jarrad Branthwaite seems to be matched up with Haaland today. Was that deliberate, or just the way things unfolded? And how did you think Branthwaite did?
No. I don't do things on individuals. I've always done things on the team framework. If we get ourselves in the right positions and we get ourselves in the right organisational footprint, if you like, that's more important than the individuals. The players at this level, they should know about the individual they're playing against without any knowledge from the staff. Of course, we increase that knowledge, but they should really know. And I thought the defensive unit did well again today in many parts of the game.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because I know Haaland scored 2 goals, but for a long time in that game, Branthwaite did quite a good job on it.
Yeah, but that's why he is who he is. He doesn't have many touches some games, but he scores, and I think that's the key. I must say, he's finished for the first one. There's no other thought. I've been speaking to the players recently. This kind of ongoing thing about footballers scoring trendy goals. Whippers, dippers, glibs. I said he didn't think about that. Just score a goal. I said that's the trendiest thing you'll ever do. Score a goal, and he showed that today. Just bang. That's it. Good technique. Smashes it. Don't worry about anything else. And the second one was Jarrod's a bit unlucky. It's a tangle of legs. Not remotely saying it's a foul. It is literally a tangle of legs. on another day he might get a foul, and nowadays, who knows with football, but he stays calm and he slots it in the corner, and his conviction in his running to get there and his power in his running to get there, that's why he is who he is and does what he does.
Sean, as you say, there's not much you can do in those moments against Haaland. Is the key to stop him getting the ball, and is that what you did so well for the first 71 minutes?
No, that wasn't the game plan. The game plan is about a team performance. He's won a very good group of very good players. Like I said, you saw the bench and who they're bringing off the bench. That boy De Bruyne does it right, Remember when he first came here? So, there's some power in that side. I think the focal point idea is helpful for them and a challenge for the teams, but I think there's a lot more to the side than just him.
Paddy?
Sean, you mentioned that you feel the squad has got some good technicians. Why do you think the goals have dried up recently? I think it's 4 in the last 8 games.
Yeah, well, like I say, they're the moments of truth. Getting in the right areas, the shot count remains high. Not so much today. Obviously, it's tough to come here and dominate that. We all know that. I think they're unbeaten as well here this season. So, it gives you a measure of where they're at. That's the moment of truth, and that's why often them players here have done that down their careers in varying positions, not just the centre forwards. And that's why players end up being worth fortunes, and our players are still in that growth mode, I think. Not all of them. There's some a bit more mature, but there's a lot of them still growing, and I reference that to them after the game. All the details of the game have to be adhered to, and the final moment of truth is often the one that you challenge to be the best at. And that's a calmness, a belief in your technique, and a belief in what you do in the training ground, so that when your chance comes, that automatic behaviour kicks in. You're not searching for it because it's already there.
How much of a challenge is it going to be now, going from this kind of game where City obviously dominate the ball mainly to, let's say, Crystal Palace at home, which is the next match?
Yeah, we've been on the opposite side of that recently. We understand the challenge of a Premier League season. Most of the players do. There's a couple of learners, but generally speaking, there's enough depth in our squad, experience that is, the depth of experience to understand that each game plays out differently. But the framework and the belief in what we do has to be intact. I think it is. I think you could see that today. Finding the key moments, that's the next level, and we've been searching for that all season.
And just a final one for me. When do you expect Danjuma to be back?
It's not going to be I'll be very surprised if it's a matter of a week or 2. I think it'll be longer than that. So we're just hopeful, really, that it settles down. But he's going along well at the moment.
Okay. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Cheers, Andy.